Welcome to your horoscope for the new moon in Pisces. This is happening on the 20th of February at 6 minutes past 6 if you're in the southern hemisphere with me. And I got to say, this one is really going to pack a magical punch. I really have a good feeling about this moon for us, Libra. I think that there's going to be a lot that we have say in, which might be a different feeling than thus far. This year's been a bit like swimming through clag up until this point, and we're going to be coming into this clearing together. And it's important for you to know that the moon loves Pisces. The moon has so much to offer when it's in the sign of Pisces in regard to the magical properties of life, in regard to your intuition and your ability to connect with folks in ways that are different from language. Let's have a look at where Pisces is for you on your chart if you're a Libra rising. So it's your sixth house, which is the house of the everyday rhythm. It's where we come into a meditative place and enact the rituals of the day. I like that Pisces is here for you, Libra, because it sort of paints an extra layer of intuitive prowess into your character. Your work, your rhythms, the way that you regulate a day has an intuitive flow to it, akin to Pisces. And I think that if we're going to make magic and if we're going to ask for what it is that we need at a new moon, in relationship to these rhythms, in relationship to your health as well, your body, your physical structure. The sixth plays out in a way that has us coming into contact with our body and its needs and caring for our health, letting go of maybe different habits that have been holding us back or keeping us in a state of relief, but not of brightness and excitement and progress. I think I've been thinking a lot about habitual cycles that we can get lost in. Pisces has a lot to talk about in that way as well. Pisces, the sign in a shadow, through a shadowy lens, can talk to addiction and it can talk to the things that we engage in order to numb out some of our sensitivity, because our sensitivity can become too much. And so we need to find barriers or blockades to try and protect us. Our impulses, as maybe as unhelpful as they might be to our health, they're there for some kind of protection or some kind of relief. You know, you go through these addictive, repetitious patterns to find relief from the mode that you're in at that moment, the pressure, the anxiety, whatever it might be that's sort of showing up for you. These habits we go to, it's for relief more than anything. And so that's a really good thing to meditate on at a Pisces new moon, I think, especially coming into this bold new world. I've spoken a bit about the idea that there's a shift in the outer planets that we're going to be looking forward to. We'll get a taste of it this year. And as of 2024, 25 and 26, we're going to feel that wave and that changing of the guard, that changing of an era. And so what better way at this Pisces new moon than to kind of take a moment with yourself, take a moment with your body and listen to it and provide it what it needs rather than what it wants to relieve itself with. I like this moon a lot, Libra, and I think that there's going to be some really lovely things that occur for us. In the tarot, at 1 degree of Pisces, which is where the sun and the moon are conjoined, forming this lunation, is the 8 of Cups, the journey, seeking out the next cup, the next emotional lesson, finding it to bring it back to our collection. I like this imagery in relationship to your physical self, to your rhythmic ritual. What does a day look like to you, and how would you like to shift that? How would you like to expand upon what you're already doing in order to feel strong, feel brave, feel grounded, feel healthy? Now, I'm going to pull some intuitive tarot as well, but I think it might be really a good thing to have a little look at some asteroids as well this time, Libra, because I've got a face-off happening here. So at 5 degrees of Libra, your first house, if you're a Libra rising, is the asteroid Ceres. Ceres was the goddess of agriculture. Ceres implemented the systems and rhythms and rituals and routines in order to harvest from the earth in a flow of give and receive. They were the ones that had the tools and the knowledge that passed to humankind in order to work with the rhythms of nature, the seasons. And the myth goes that Ceres went to the underworld, went to go have audience with Pluto, for Pluto had stolen Ceres' daughter Persephone and dragged her to the underworld, to the depths, to the pit. And Ceres set out like the brave warrior that Ceres was to go and claim back what was rightfully hers and what had been taken. But in her absence, the seasons and the crops wilted and grew cold. So this is where the mythology of winter comes out. You can see that. And if you relate the mythology of winter to perhaps the winter of ourselves, and when we do feel emotions like depression, you can see how Ceres, as a placement in astrology, can sometimes bring about these emotions or bring about this winter for us. But there's a bravery here. There's a bravery, and Ceres took Persephone back, but struck a bargain with Pluto, and that was that Persephone would come back down to the underworld every year. So every winter, Ceres would have to go back and find her daughter and get her back to Earth. This is a big myth, and there's a lot of emotional attachment to this, and there might be things for you that come up about your caregivers. There might be emotions that come up about your children if you have them when hearing this story. Or perhaps there is a relationship with the winter of your life, perhaps the tides of your emotions. You can sort of identify with the Ceres symbology in that way of cyclical time, cyclical nature, the journey down into the depths in order to get back what is yours, to bring it to the light. So this is in Libra, this is your first house, so I bring it up because it might be quite personal. In the tarot, we can look to the Queen of Pentacles for our Ceres imagery. And in direct opposition, at 5 degrees in Aries, so this will be your 7th house of relationship, is Vesta, the goddess of the sacred flame, the magic maker, the one that devoted their life to spiritual practice, spiritual teaching, that kept the flame of spirit alive at all costs. And so this is in your relationship zone, in a face-off. So I feel these two energies quite strongly of these asteroids. I feel that there's something that you're protecting or that you wish to protect. And there's something that you really have to let go of. There's something that you need to give over to the sacred flame. 1st house, 7th house face-off. It's quite, it packs a punch, doesn't it? I hope that there's something in there for you, Libra, at this time, because this is happening at this moon. So think about the rhythmic nature of the 6th house and your ability to work with a new moon, your ability to have an access over interacting with the magic of that lunation. And also think about this tryst between the Queen of Pentacles, Ceres, and the Queen of Fire, Vesta, this face-off. Where do you feel most aligned? Do you feel obligated in a certain way? Do you feel that your health, your rhythm needs to be protected and maintained, and that some of this noise needs to go? I got some interesting cards as well just now, Libra, as we're talking about this. I got the Two of Cups. Beautiful, healing connection, coming into alignment, coming into relationship with someone or something, a part of ourselves that is, as the Staff of Hermes is, medicinal. It is healing in a tarot card, this beautiful card, the Two of Cups. There's a lighthouse in the background, so there is that sort of following the light. I wonder if we can sort of relate Vesta to this idea as well, following that sacred flame, that spiritual part of you, that part that you can't let be snuffed out by obligation or by conflict. I wonder if you can use this lighthouse, this Vesta, this light as a guiding point for you if things have become a little bit tricky of late. I got the King of Cups in reverse, and I also got the Page of Cups in reverse. Very interesting to see this. We're talking a lot about emotions in this reading, which is perfect for Pisces. We can really go there. We can really dive in. But I feel, so these are two folks. They could be water signs. They really don't have to be. But there is a youthful persona here, and there is someone of some authority here as well. But these are in reverse. And so when I think of water in reverse, I think of emotional manipulation or emotional instability. I think of, I've got an image of sort of that, of the Queen of Pentacles, of Ceres going down to see Pluto to get Persephone back. But I see that it's difficult. I see that there is tendrils sort of dragging down. And that's opposite to this. In a lot of ways, Libra, I kind of see this as you and yourself, really. The sixth house is kind of private. It's sort of not really related to so many other folks, you know. It's an internal rhythm, and it's a checking in with your own ecosystem, checking in with your needs, what it is that you need to regulate your emotions. And so these two individuals here, they could be external to you. You could be finding it difficult at the moment to relate to certain people in your life. Their needs may surmount your own. Perhaps you're going through a bit of a grieving process of having to say goodbye to certain relationships at this time because they are not respecting your boundaries, or they're not respecting your emotional responses to the situation either. There kind of seems to be some kind of reliance here that is potentially going to be detrimental to your health if you continue. And so let's really lock into the moon. Let's lock into Pisces. Let's lock into your intuitive power. You know, the Pisces parts of you. You might have planets in Pisces too. You can really kind of look at the lunation, look at your Pisces placements if you have any, and see what's being affected by this moon. See what part of life you can work on. And this is not to say that these relationships are gone forever, but it is to say it's a staking. You're staking your claim. You're voicing your needs. Your love language is really important in this as well, Libra. Difficult for you to kind of reconcile. And I'm really looking at this seesaw between your first house and your house of relationship. I mean, you'd much prefer to be in the seventh house. Oftentimes, Libra, that's the house that you're perfect at. The house of relationship, the house of equity, of fairness, of kindness. But Vesta, the sacred flame, the individual light, is in your seventh house. This is more important. Your relationship with yourself at this time. These needs may be left unmet, but you've really got to consolidate in your mind if your behavior aligns with what's being said to you. You're not abandoning anyone by making sure that you are taken care of and that your sensitivity is being regarded. That's something that potentially Libra individuals might come across, is this idea of this feeling of disregard, unfortunately. Well, I think that's your reading, Libra. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's leave it there. A little bit heavy. I hope you're all right. It's going to be really good. And I think, yeah, like really consider your health and well-being at this moon. It's paramount. It's paramount. We're about to, we've got to brace ourselves for these changes. And that's not to say that they're going to be horrific. I think that there's a lot of great potential for real change and real progress for the human species. But we've got to make sure that the vessel is taken care of and protected first, right? Head to umaruby.com and book your birth chart with me. You can also head to buymeacoffee.com and put some money in the tip jar. They're always very much appreciated at this time. And I've written some letters to the galaxy. I made some zines over the weekend. I went to a zine festival and I was reading tarot at a street fair as well. It was a jam-packed weekend and a lot of emotions came up and a lot of boundary setting for myself had to be maintained, which is probably why I can empathize with this story of these cups in reverse. I've got these zines. If you'd like to read my letters to the galaxy, send me an email and we'll see if I can get one posted to you. Much love to you, Libra. You take care at this new moon in Pisces. Work with it. And I'll speak to you in 2 weeks with a full moon in Virgo. Take care. I love you. Bye.